All right. A very, very special episode of Slams and Jams. I am Bombshell Billy.
I'm Eddie Carpenter.
Bob Staffa.
Metal Bob. No. Today, you're definitely Metal Bob. Absolutely.
All right.
All right, I guess. All right. We are here to talk about the Prince of Darkness. Or, I just found out, I was yesterday years old when I found out his other nickname, the Godfather of Heavy Metal. I didn't know that. Ozzy Osbourne.
Did AI tell you?
No, I just heard it in all the news clippings and everything. But yeah, I felt like it was another, and not felt like it was another piece of my childhood, just poof, gone, just like that. I'll say it's funny. It's not funny, but it's funny that down in history, everybody says, "Where were you of the day? Do you remember what you were doing when?" I do, because it was just yesterday. I was at the tire place with Melissa, and Derek sent us the clip about it, and I was like, "What?" And then I looked it up on TMZ and saw that it was true. And we get out of the car, and I'm like, "All right, listen, I know you say I'm a whine ass and I cry about a lot of things, but I can feel myself getting choked up right now, and this is going to hit you too." And I just held the phone up to her, and she's like, "Oh my God, wow. How?" I go, "It doesn't say." So then we went inside Mr. Tire, and we're up at the thing, and there's these two burly guys working, nice guys, but they're like, "Oh," and they're talking to this other customer at the counter. I'm just like, wow, I can't believe it. She's talking to them. I'm like, "Oh, I can't believe it. Ozzy Osbourne died." And they all just went, "What?" And everybody in the room just stopped what they were doing, and everyone was just like, "What the fuck? What?" And everybody was invested in what I was looking at. And it's like everybody knew who I was. My dad don't listen to that shit, unfortunately. But he's like, "Yeah, I can't believe that." He was all invested in it. I spent the day with him today, and he was all talking about it. So big, huge news. I know all three of us were. We grew up on this man, and literally, I know I'm being long-winded already, but I was listening to Ozzy's Boneyard yesterday, and
Nah, don't get me started on that, man.
I told Eddie about the guy on there, the guy Jose Mangin,
Yep.
And he's a longtime producer programmer. And he told the story after, but he was on there and he's talking and he's choking up and he's breaking up as he's talking. And then, callers would call in and they would start telling stories and he would just start bawling his eyes out. I'm like, I texted Eddie, I said, "Dude, this is tough, man." I said, "I'm listening to Ozzy's Boneyard and this guy just can't keep it together." And then he turned it on. It was, go ahead, man.
I was at work, and like one of the things from that show at that particular time was that a caller called in and said that, and Billy had messaged me this.
I can't believe it, man.
At the same time, the caller had said, or compared, or
what
basically
a
said
statement.
That this is the Elvis Presley of our time, of our generation.
He said, "This is our Elvis." And I thought about that for a minute. I'm like, holy shit. He's right, man.
And
he's
Billy
right.
sent that. He's like, that's a hot take, and he's right. And I said, yeah. But I was in I just gotten a promotion, and I'm being trained to do all these new things, and I'm on a training call, and we're waiting for one of the people in our call to come back. And the guy I was training with, knows I'm into music. He goes, "Oh yeah," and then Ozzy died. My girlfriend just walked in and told me Ozzy died. I'm like, "Don't say that, man. That's not cool."
I'll punch you in your
face. Exactly what I said. I said, "Don't say that's not cool." He goes, "No, seriously." And it was just so unceremonial, like I was so upset. And I grabbed my phone, and the first thing I saw was Billy's message, and I hit mute. We got a little button we can hit mute on our meeting calls, and I just started crying. I didn't know what else to do. And I had to pipe back in every once in a while to give my opinion on something or talk about something. And after that, I was like, it's best to just keep it on mute. And it's best to just keep it on mute and
Yep.
not say a word, because I couldn't get one out. And at some point, I walked away from my computer. I still had a half hour left to work. I'm like, I can't work. Like, what the fuck you want me to do? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be here today if it wasn't for his music. I never would have picked. Like Bob, before we even started this, asked me to talk about this, and I had already posted it. But like, when I was a kid, there wasn't a whole lot out there for guys like me. For kids like me. I went to a school with a bunch of rich kids that played a lot of football, a lot of basketball. I didn't play any sports. I just loved music. And I got shunned on. I got kicked. I got punched. I got thrown around a lot. I was a small dude. And I'd go home and I'd pick up my fucking guitar. And I'd play Ozzy's music. I listened to everything, man. Everything he fucking ever did. My first song I ever learned, my brother taught me Paranoid. He taught me Iron Man. And after that, I picked up Bark at the Moon, and I tried to learn that whole fucking CD. Back then, it was a tape, I think. And Ultimate Sin, and they had a home video of that with Jakey Lee, and we've talked about Jake and his influence on me. And to see him at that last show was just... That brought tears to my eyes. I cried just to see Jake there. But, man, as a kid that just got shunned upon and, like, made a good fucking living for himself over the years, when people told me couldn't, if it wasn't for that music and if it wasn't for those moments where I'd go home and just pick up that guitar and play it,
Yep.
I would have never done anything. I would have never accomplished anything in my life. I wouldn't have. I know that. So, if, people can think what they want or say what they want, or I don't even care about people's opinions, man. But, like, when stuff like this happens, everything kind of, you start thinking about everything and everything in your life, man. And it's like, I'm goddamn lucky to have everything I have, and for a human being that's distant from me, as a personally distant from me, but means so much.
You have that. You feel that.
away.
You feel that connection with them.
Always have.
Mhm.
Always. And this one hurt. This one hit hard. This one fucking hurt.
Yep.
Because we wouldn't be here
Right.
if it wasn't for that human being. That's that.
Yeah. Bobby, what's your first memories of Ozzy?
Well, probably winning Blizzard of Oz on vinyl at Sylvan Beach used to have like a smaller field day on their infield, and they had a game where they had a bunch of beer cans set up, and you had to knock them off the platform.
What?
Set up in a pyramid. You had to knock them off a platform with a beanbag. So I sat there and spent a bunch of money on this game, and finally I knocked them all off. And there were a lot of albums, a lot of different kinds of music and everything. And I kept going back to the Ozzy album and going, yeah, I've heard about this guy and I don't know that much about him. I've heard a couple songs here and there, and I like him. And that's the most evil-looking album cover I think I've ever seen. It's very menacing. Blizzard of Oz. Just him up in the attic there with the cross and everything. I said, it's very menacing. And I go, am I going to get in trouble for coming home with something like this? What's going to happen? I was into Kiss and AC/DC. They were my bands. And the Village People. Yeah, they were my band too.
No judgment.
So I think 3 or 4 times I switched between the Ozzy album and another one, and then I'm like, you know what? Final decision. I'm going with Blizzard of Oz.
Nice.
So that was my introduction. Then I got Speak of the Devil, then Diary. So my mind kind of went out of order on that, because Speak of the Devil was the new album.
Right.
that had just come out at the time, I believe. No, it was 82, so Diary was out. Diary was out, but I got Speak before Diary. So it went Blizzard of Oz, Speak of the Devil, Diary of a Madman for me. Even though I'm thinking back to concerts that I went to, my dad took me to the Diary of a Madman tour at the War Memorial, because I remember the 95X patch that the Panhandler gave away. And the Speak of the Devil tour, I had a shirt from that, and it had Ozzy with the, like on the cover, like with the gel coming out of his mouth.
Yeah.
And the back of the shirt said, "The madman bites the bat," or something like that.
There was a.
I got a bootleg. One of those jerseys, and it had blue sleeves. And it ripped up in like a week's time. You know, the sleeves started ripping out of it.
He didn't read the tag. It said, "Do not wash."
But like Ed said, for a kid that didn't know where he fit in, or if he fit in, he spoke to me.
We talked about it before, brothers. Music is powerful.
Wow. We all lost. We lost the bet.
It's a fucking legend. And look how many times he, I'm gonna say times, but just look at him like in his days with Black Sabbath, and then, you know, going solo, and then years later, totally reinventing himself and becoming like a household name on the Osbournes, and almost being, you know, just being like, I mean, we loved him from the get-go, but like the mainstream, like embracing the Osbournes, embracing Ozzy, bringing him in and loving him like he's like, you know, Ward Cleaver, you know? It's like,
Well,
what the hell?
I'll say
there was never another. I mean, it had to be him. You know, we know he had a lot of help with the songwriting and a lot of the things like that, and that's not what this is about, because they picked the right person to deliver. Nobody could have delivered it like he did. Nobody.
I went to, you know, like, Carrie had things going on. You know, like she came home. She came home. I didn't expect her to come home. She had things she had to do, and she walked in the door, and I just lost it in her arms. And then she, you know, I had to go pick up my daughter. I didn't even know how to take. I walked into her daycare wearing my Black Sabbath shirt, and the lady said, "That's a great shirt to wear today." And a bunch of parents were there and turned around and nodded their heads, and I'm like, I almost started crying then, you know, like, these people I don't know, you know, all looked sad.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to pick up my daughter and like drive in the car with her, and I didn't know if she'd be upset by it. I didn't know if she wouldn't be upset by it. But she got in the car and we drove all the way to my parents' house, because I just, you know, sometimes you just need a hug from mom. And it was one of those days I needed a hug from mom. And we got almost there, and I told her, so Ozzy died. And she said, yeah, I know. And I started crying while I was driving. I said, I'm not all right with that. And I told her, you know, basically what I put on Facebook about him. And then I got to my mom's, and we got out of the car, and she gave me a huge hug. She said she did this, you know, which was awesome.
She knew.
Gave me a huge hug, and I cried again. Yeah.
Yep.
And then I hung out with mom, and I just acted like nothing big. And then I I picked up my phone. I think I started looking at Facebook and seeing all the tributes everyone was putting out toward him. And I said, I said something to Mom about it.
It was
nonstop. Yeah, it was just the
on
constant. Everything was Ozzy, and I told Mom about it, and she's very good about. Oh, she just knows when I get upset, and she knows. I guess how to be good around me about it, and suggested we watch the world news to see what Ozzy says, or what they say about Ozzy, what they say about his passing, and we went in and they did this whole big tribute to him. Of course, they talk about his drug use and all that, and then he bounced back, but everyone acts like he bounced back when they did the Osbourne show. Like, no, that man bounced back years before that. That kind of stuff pisses me off in the media. Yeah. Like, let's talk about how that was so he got over that in the late 80s, early 90s. But it was, Mom said after it was done, she put her hand on me and said, I watch the world news every night, and when a celebrity passes, we always watch it. She said that is the longest segment I've ever seen on the world news for a celebrity passing.
Yep.
That was her way of telling me, I had every right to be upset.
It's funny you say that about the let's see what the news and all that says, and you were kind of pissed because they said, that he turned himself around with it. Literally, and 2 hours ago, we're in the grocery store, and we're waiting in line, just about to go up, and I look at all the rag magazines, I don't even know I don't know if it's National People magazine and all of them, you know what I mean? All of them sitting at the, the last minute shopping by me here because you're waiting in line, and and I said, what's sad? I said to Melissa, I said, what's sad? I said, a week from now, every one of these fucking magazines are going to have Ozzy Osbourne's picture on it. And guess what? They've never had his fucking picture on it ever before. They've probably never even talked about him.
Well, when he bit the head off the bat.
Oh yeah. Or when the Osbournes or whatever. But he's never been on the cover. He's never been the feature story. But let's bite off that. Let's sensationalize this moment here and get it out there. And by the way, I just want to mention that this show it'll take a little bit before we pop it up and edit it and stuff. But you know what? First of all, if you think we're, being babies or pussies and crying and stuff, well, we don't care. I mean, whoever's watching, that's great. But fuck off if you think that's something wrong with that. But we're recording this one day after his passing. We're recording this one day after his passing, so it's still fresh. The wound hasn't even started to seal up yet. So, another thing that you were talking about when you were talking about your mom and her being there for you and stuff. It's kind of weird because I kind of related. On the way back from said store, we're driving down the street and passing the cemetery where my mom is, and Bob knows all too well because his folks are there too. But I'm driving by and I'm feeling myself getting choked up, and I think it's because how when you're feeling emotional, and it makes everything else emotional in your life. You know what I mean? When 9/11 happened, you know what I mean?
Your feel.
Yeah. Like when 9/11 happened and my daughter didn't make it on the bus, you know what I mean? I was like, oh my God, they got her, or whatever, I was just like, because your emotions are so high and heightened. But yeah, I'm driving by today and I just felt myself getting choked up, and I'm just like, fuck, man, why do people have to keep fucking dying, But let's whip this around a little bit and talk about some fun stuff. I took some notes earlier, boys. This is Slams and Jams. It's wrestling and rock and roll. So let's tie that in a little bit. In case y'all didn't know, Ozzy Osbourne did have his ties with pro wrestling. A couple different ones, actually. In 2021, believe it or not, Ozzy Osbourne was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Hall of Famer, Ozzy
British
Osbourne.
Bulldogs forever.
That's right, yes. And then his first appearance in WWF was he was in the corner of the British Bulldogs. Oh, take a look. Ed, this is why we're partners on this. You were prepared. He was in the corner of the British Bulldogs along with Captain Lou Albano. And
They were heels at the time, so it's
yeah,
right.
I
strange.
don't think so. No, they weren't heels. No, they were faces.
Were they faces?
Yeah, they were faces. Yeah.
Were they faces?
Yeah.
Oh.
Who'd they wrestle? Hammer and Beefer?
Hammer and Beefer.
Hammer and Beefer. I got a picture. If you want to put it right, Ed hates / loves when I do this. If you want to put it right there, there's a picture of Ozzy and Captain Lou right there. But yeah, he has his ties in with professional wrestling. Triple H just put something out today, just totally praising him. I got a couple things, a couple Ozzy moments I pulled up on the Twitter machine. It's not the Twitter machine, on the Google machine. All right, so what are some of the most famous Ozzy moments that he's made headlines for, boys?
Couple of what?
Some famous moments he's known for in his history. But before you answer that, I know it's not a thirsty. I know it's not a thirsty Thursday. It's an Ozzy drink day. I pulled out the Blake's Hard Cider Caramel Apple. Caramel Apple. This one's kissed already. Because we drink on this fucking show. And then I'm gonna pop open the
blueberry.
Oh, look at this!
Oh,
look at this guy.
That's
Whoa.
Gary's drink of choice, actually.
Bobby's going hardcore.
Pure leaf iced tea.
Blueberry.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going
Blueberry's the new blackberry. I said blueberry.
She goes for the sweet tea.
I'm going with the Down East cider donut, which, by the way, totally blows away the 1911 cider donut.
I'm doing my typical claws.
Claw. Hey.
Sean Barr, be proud of me.
There you go. Jason, Sean.
Sponsorships, we'll accept them. We'll accept them from any of those companies.
We will.
I actually was accepted by a sponsorship, but I don't really trust it. I feel like they just want us to buy their stuff. They're all over the place. So I'm like,
well, that's what the sponsorships are. So, all right, let's talk about
look at this.
Ozzy.
Look at that. I'm in an Ozzy crowd right now.
Nice.
Headlines that Ozzy made. Let's see.
Headlines that Ozzy made.
Can I start? And
sure.
Just say,
you're gonna take the low hanging fruit. I know you are.
Pissed on the fucking Alamo.
Oh shit! That was like number 2 on my list. Obviously, I thought the number 1 was the bat. You know.
No. I think a federal crime is a little bit bigger than.
All right, you're right. Hold on, real quick. I'll read this up. In 1982, Ozzy Osbourne bit the head off a bat during a concert in Des Moines, Iowa, after a fan threw it on stage. Osbourne initially thought the bat was a rubber toy. The incident, which led Osbourne receiving rabies shots, became a legendary and often parodied moment in rock history. Some fun fact: the fan named Mark Neal threw the bat on stage. Said the bat had been dead for some time, having been found by his younger brother. First of all, Mark Neal, you're a sick motherfucker. Why would you bring that to the show with you? I mean, it made him famous.
Didn't keep it on ice either.
Made
it was
him famous.
In the glove box. He probably drove 3 hours to get there.
Right. Hey, Bob. Before that, Mark Neal never drew a dime. A dime.
Good.
But yeah, you're right. After the bat, I definitely have on the list the Alamo. Yes. Also in 1982, it was a big year for Ozzy. 1982.
It was a hell of a tour.
Maybe it was the rabies.
It was a hell of a tour.
Ozzy Osbourne's Alamo story refers to an incident in 1982 where he was arrested in San Antonio for public intoxication and urinating on the Alamo cenotaph There's no cento. It's cenotaph. Yeah, what he said, cenotaph. A monument honoring those who died in the Battle of the Alamo. This event became notorious and symbolic of his struggles with addiction at the time. While initially banned from the Alamo, he later apologized, visited the site, and expressed remorse. The Alamo itself acknowledged this journey from regret to reconciliation.
Good.
Good for you, Ozzy.
And before we went on the air with this and started recording it, I saw a post that said the Alamo gave a tribute.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Nice.
That's great.
You know what? Like, how much does that tell you? That a historical site finds that a man that pissed on it is more historical than the site itself,
right?
Enough to give it a tribute.
Right.
Like, albeit, like, he didn't do it under any, he didn't do it under any, like, bad terms or anything. He was just drunk and just found a place to piss.
Drunk looking for a place to pee. How was he supposed to know it was part of the
right?
Story?
Yeah, but they look at that as, like, this historical site. It means more because he did so.
I'm not trying to make history. I just gotta go bathroom.
I just gotta get out the bus and go.
I just gotta piss.
That's great, man. Thank you.
My headlining moment goes back to before all of them, and it's the Dove situation.
The Dove. Is that true, though? I saw about that.
No, it is true. It is true. They went to the board office at, I think CBS Records was what his first album. So he came out on Jet CBS, I believe. And they went to a big board meeting to celebrate the releasing of a new era for Ozzy. And they thought it'd be a good idea to give Ozzy a couple of doves to release into the air.
Yes.
And he released one of them in the air, and he took a nice bite out of the neck of the other one. And there was blood and feathers all in his mouth. And the board members all in their suits and ties, wondering who the hell they just signed, what was going on, and why they were there. Running out of the room.
It's hilarious.
I mean, anytime you can make a person in a suit and tie freak out like that, that's a good day to me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm not condoning what he did to the Dove. Not condoning that at all. But it's Ozzy, and he was probably drunk off his ass.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, Sharon said he was well under the influence when that happened.
Not that you guys. Go ahead.
But it's just funny. We go back to the media. They are always going to like point out these things he did when he was high or drunk, like back when he had his party days, which many musicians did back then. But he became such an iconic character, such an iconic individual, musician, artist, that they have to attack him for it. But so many crazy things he did, but. I want to say, like, again, I'll say, like, I believe it was, like, the late 80s, early 90s when he cleaned himself up. He's just a beautiful human being.
Yeah.
He's such a beautiful personality and such a nice person. And he did fun things and stupid things when he was under the influence, and we all do. I'm doing it right now.
Look at me, I'm Ozzy. Yeah, I heard it's funny you said he does such nice things. I heard I was listening to Jose on the Boneyard, and he told a story about a caller that called in and said that I'll paraphrase. Basically, he something about this guy. They brought his kids to a show and said they saved up their money or something like that, and they wanted to come to the show. He brought them to the show, whatever. And
I heard this. Yes.
And he
the father and kids. Yeah.
Yeah. He got the information, their address, something. So he got their information, their contact information, and the father thought, is he just going to send them a thank you card or something like that? The kids were fans of him and stuff. And he bought him a dirt bike and sent it to their house. I was like, That's fucking awesome. Like, why would anybody not that anybody has to do that, but why would anybody in his position do that? He's just fucking nice guy. Just a nice guy, man.
There was another caller that called in and said that his buddy had brought his kids to the show, and they were 8 and 10, and they had opening acts that, you know, they all catered to these kids. They threw them guitar picks and stuff. I think Pantera was one of the openers. Threw them guitar picks, and like, how cool is that? That, like, if you're a fan, you know, you're one in tens of thousands of people that might get a guitar pick, and they personally gave them these guitar picks. And then Ozzy came out, and Ozzy brought the kids up on stage to do "My Mom Coming Home" at the end of the show.
That's great.
And then he took off his robe. You know, he had his little, you know, sparkly robe on or whatever it was, and he took it off and he gave it to the dad when he brought the kids back down. You know, like, he was just, he had a bigger heart than his body could ever contain.
Yep.
You could see it in the final show with Sabbath and his solo final show that just happened a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
With his interaction with Youngblood. You can see that if you've seen any of that behind the scenes stuff where Youngblood gave him a piece of jewelry, a necklace that his friend made, and he in turn gave Youngblood one of his crosses.
That's awesome.
Wore.
Gave him his blessing.
We're talking about Jose earlier, the guy that was on the Ozzy's Bodnard yesterday and today. You know, they're doing like hours long live tributes all day today and yesterday. But later on, this is the guy that we were talking about earlier that was, you know, breaking up a lot when he was talking about him. He explained it later, and it just really choked me up even more when he told the story. He said, when these guys, I should have looked it up for research purposes, but when the family signed with Sirius XM, and that was years ago, you know, that's got to be 10 years running maybe, or the Ozzy's Boneyard?
I think 10 or 15. I think he might have said 15. Yeah,
it's a long time. And he said when the family signed the deal with the channel, they said, we want Jose to program the channel. And he was like, holy shit, how do they even know me? And he was just known because he worked there. And he said ever since then, he said he'd been to their house. He, you know, every time Ozzy would come into the studio, he would like fawn over him or be like, what's wrong? He goes, I just want to make sure he's okay. If he had to go to the bathroom, he'd walk him down the hall. He'd hold the door for him. He'd be out there to hold it for him. He'd make sure he's not, you know, falling, whatever. And he said, did
you say hold it for him? Hang on a minute.
The door.
Thank you.
Thank you
for clarifying.
He was just like now I say super fan. He was part of the inner circle. I could see how this dude is, you know, really invested in that. Another thing that I thought could possibly be a vine turn. Another thing that I thought of earlier it's just me and my emotions and stuff, but I thought about at his last show a few weeks ago. It's just a little thing, but I relate to it, you know. Backstage at the Back to the Beginning show, where Kelly Osbourne's boyfriend proposed to her, and it just popped into my head that, you know, I'm like, I don't know why I thought about this twist, but he ain't gonna be able to walk his daughter down the aisle. You know? Like, what the fuck? A little thing like that it's, you know, you may not think about it, it may seem insignificant, but when you got kids, you got daughters, I can't imagine not, if they ever get married, you know? Be one of the proudest moments of my life, but
you gotta imagine how they feel just based on the fact that the proposal happened in front of them. You know?
Yeah.
that happened.
And before it even happened, before he could even propose and get down on his knees, he said, "No, you're not marrying my daughter."
You know where marrying my fucking daughter.
Apparently, that's been an ongoing gag that he had too. Like throughout, like for the past for a while now, he'd always say,
"Yeah,
you're not marrying my fucking daughter." It was always like their ongoing bit, and then he finally proposed. But
I sent Melissa a video earlier that someone posted. I said, "Look, even Ozzy knew," because she always gets on me because she loves flowers, and I do buy her flowers sometimes, but not enough, And it was a clip from The View of Sharon on there. I don't know if it was her birthday or whatever, but she's out there talking, and all of a sudden,
The View or The Talk?
Oh, the talk. Maybe it was the talk. It was the talk. Yeah. And all of a sudden, oh, the boy! She's like, "What the hell?" And she's like, "No." And Ozzy he comes walking out with a bouquet of flowers and presented it to her, and she starts crying.
Aww.
Yeah, it was awesome. He surprised her and showed up at the show and gave her flowers. Oh, look at that. Totally throwing myself under the bus. I sent her the clip, and I was like, "Look, even Ozzy knows." Even Ozzy knows.
I had the pleasure of meeting Ozzy once.
I was going to ask you that earlier, bro, when we were talking. Yeah. Really?
Great story, too. I was working at Fayetteville Mall at Record Town, and there were two of us on because Fayetteville Mall was dying at the time, and the stores weren't packed at all, so we could afford to have two of us on. And I'm the only one up front. I'm behind the counter. It was the new releases for the week came out, so I'm slicing open the boxes with a box cutter on the floor, facing away from the counter, and all of a sudden I hear, "Have you got the Pee Wee Herman video?" I turned around and he's right there in my face.
And Bob shit his pants immediately.
And I'm like,
what?
I'll help you up.
That's amazing.
So I was just awestruck, and he looked shocked, because okay, this guy's reacting a little strange to me, but he gets it all the time, I'm sure. But just kind of like, okay.
And of course, it wasn't
2000. I'm sure, like, I'm down, dude.
It wasn't 2025 or even 20 years before that, so you didn't have a goddamn phone, so you couldn't fucking take a picture with him. Immediately, it's like nowadays it'd be like, "Bro, here we go." Right? So no one's gonna believe this shit.
Though I still feel. Go ahead, Bob.
No, go ahead. Go on.
I was just gonna say, but still, I think I wouldn't have. Even back then, all those people we meet, I don't think I would.
You would feel like
guy,
you would feel like that guy. You would feel like a mark, but
yes.
What? How are you how can you pass up that moment? You're never gonna see him ever again in your life, unless you're Jose and you're holding the door for him or holding it for him or whatever Bob said.
And so that was pretty much what happened to me. I was so freaked out by it, and I helped him look. He was looking for Big Top Pee Wee, and he said his son wanted it, so Jack wanted it.
That's awesome.
He was a really young kid at the time, obviously. And it was the day before Ozzy played at in Weedsport.
Nice.
That year.
Nice.
So he starts walking out after we couldn't find it, and they asked if we had another store nearby, and I told the person that was with him, his handler at the time, about Shoppingtown Mall and how it was close to Fayetteville Mall. And, that store might have it, but we don't have a database with our movies in them because they were cutout movies. They were discontinued movies that we had, and there was no database. It was a generic.
The gem case. The gem case had the little cut in it.
Yep.
And the cut. I remember that.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah. You know the discounter when they got the little slice in them. Yep.
Yep.
So we didn't have the video. I helped him look through it. He flipped through some, and I flipped through some. And I'm almost letting him walk out, and I'm going, wait a minute here. I'm going, oh, Ozzy, wait a second. And they both turn around, and at first I thought they were going to get mad at me. And I said, could you sign this for me? And it was, I had a yellow tablet, yellow lined paper. And he put many thanks, Ozzy Osbourne.
Nice.
And but like an idiot.
He told me that earlier. He goes, I got an autograph for him somewhere.
I'm in a store with a bunch of CDs. I could have went and grabbed the long box.
Right.
And then bought the CD later.
Yeah, right.
Shit. An idiot. I was just so surprised. He was literally right in my face when I turned around. It was right there.
Bob's like, sorry, we don't have that. Can you can you tell my handler, Jose, find out where we can find this.
Not even close to the same, but it reminded me of like how many times I walked past Kevin Owens or Kevin Steen at 2CW shows, and he'd just be selling, like we walked past him so many times to the point where we were like friends with him. We'd talk to him and stuff. But like we'd walk like in the door and he'd have his table with his T-shirts and we'd just be like, "What's up, dude?" And he'd be like, "What's up?" We just cool walk past him. Never got a picture. Never took a picture. Never got an autograph. Why wouldn't you?
Right. My biggest regret. We talked about this. My biggest regret is I never got a picture with Brody. Never got a picture with Brody Lee.
Yeah, I only got that one from.
I know, and I get it right exactly. I got two. Funny you brought up Owens. Two quick stories that, as far as relatable to him. One, I think it was Watertown. I can't remember, but he had Owen with him, his son. And I was backstage. He's sitting there, and Owen's like, and I walk by. I'm like, "What's up, man?" He goes, "How you doing?" He goes, "Say hi to Billy." Hi. I'm like, "How you doing?" And I was just walking by, and I walk away going, "Did he just say hi to Billy? He knows me." I mean, he knew. He remembers my name. Another time is Nasty Nick, and I had front row tickets for Utica, I believe it was, WWE show, and the match was Owens against Sami Zayn. Owens comes out first, so he's in the ring, and it's all dark, and Sami's doing his entrance, coming down on we're opposite side of the entranceway. So we're sitting there, and he's just in the ring and stuff. And of course, I'm being a mark. 2C dub. And he looks down. And he goes,
always did. Yeah.
He looks down and he goes, "Hey, I remember you." He goes, "You lost a little weight." I'm like, "Yeah." And Nick's like, and then he comes back to like 10 seconds later. He goes, "I gained it." I'm like, "Aw." Like, "Aw." Because this is when he was packed it on a little bit. I'm like, "Aw, why you got to do that?" But I was like, okay. And it was awesome because for that night, I think it was my son's hero. He's like, "Wait. I mean, I knew you said you knew him, but wait, you know him? He knows you?" I'm like, "That's right, motherfucker." I got some more fun Ozzy stories I pulled up. Here's another one. Tommy Lee told this story.
I know this.
I think I know both sides of this story.
Tommy Lee told it.
You may only say one half. And
it wasn't his
half.
aunt. It was him. In 1984, while touring with Motley Crue, Ozzy Osbourne reportedly snorted a line of ants off the ground using a straw. Tommy Lee, drummer for Motley Crue, has repeatedly insisted the story is true, detailing the event in interviews, stating Ozzy was trying to out rockstar and out gross somebody out, and saw a line of ants going to a popsicle stick a kid left on the ground before snorting them up to his nose. Conflicting accounts exist regarding the incident. Ozzy Osbourne stated in 2023 episode of the Osbournes podcast that the story is true. However, he reportedly claimed at another time to have no recollection of the event. That does not surprise me. Sharon Osbourne, Ozzy's wife, has expressed skepticism, stating she wasn't there and doesn't know if it's true.
I also heard from the Motley Crue camp that after this happened, Nikki, I believe, or Tommy, pissed on the floor.
That's
and
my
went
next
down
story.
To snort it up.
That's my next story.
And I beat him to it.
I heard he licked it up. Not that he
To go back to the ant story, Jakey Lee, Ozzy's guitarist during the 1984 tour, denied the ant snorting, claiming Ozzy only snorted a small spider instead. Like that's any better. Conversely, Nikki Sixx, Motley Crue's bassist, recounted the incident in the band's 2001 autobiography, The Dirt: Confessions of the World's Most Notorious Rock Band. And then they also had a clip of it and put it into the Motley Crue movie, The Dirt, that was on Netflix. So, but yes, there absolutely is Going back to what you said, Eduardo. Osbourne reportedly licked Motley Crue bassist Nikki Sixx's urine. Nikki goes to pee on the ground, and Nikki's gonna wait. Oh yeah, Nikki's gonna pee on the ground, and Nikki's gonna lick up his own pee to outdo Ozzy. And before Nikki could do it, Ozzy fucking beats him to it and licks up his. So we're like, all right, Ozzy, you win, dude.
That was the day that Motley Crue realized they were just a couple of bitches.
Right. They're like, yeah, okay, we tap, we tap out, we tap out. Bye. Here's another one. I don't know if you ever heard of this one. I never did until I read it, and who knows if it's story, whatever. Ozzy recalled standing and talking to a horse, after which the horse apparently told him to F off. I took 10 tabs of acid, then went for a walk in the field. I ended up standing there talking to this horse for about an hour. In the end, the horse turned around and told me to fuck off. That was it for me. What? Hilarious.
I remember when he shaved his head and he said he was going to become a Hare Krishna.
I do remember when he shaved his head. Yes.
It was during the Speak of the Devil tour.
Yeah.
Because I saw him on that show at the War Memorial. Those memories of those shows with my dad were great because I just had fun not only watching the show and enjoying it, but watching my dad looking like he enjoyed it as much as I did.
Was he enjoying it, or was he just doing it for you / us?
No, I could tell. It just there was a look that he'd get, and just that look.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You knew him.
Was the head shaving part? Was that around the time that I feel like it was around the time? Yeah, it was. So another awesome Ozzy story was that, and we talked about it in a previous podcast, but how George Lynch was originally supposed to be Ozzy's guitar player.
Yeah.
And that Sharon, during that time, Sharon was so pissed off because Ozzy had shaved his head. and she was pissed off at George Lynch because at the time when he tried out, he didn't have long hair. So he was in
a new wave band. He was in a new wave band, so
before Dokken or anything like that. So he had short hair, and Sharon just kept pissing on him, and she was mad because he had a guitar that was green, said it reminded her of boogers.
I remember you said that.
She was so mad that he had short hair, and he's like, meanwhile he's looking around, and he's like, Ozzy doesn't have any hair. What's going on? He had no idea that he had, why he shaved his head or anything.
I know we talked about this on a previous episode, but another thing that came to mind today is that Bobby and I went to see him on I mistaken it as the Bark at the Moon. It was the Ultimate Sin tour with Metallica opening up. So now we've got two icons that have now gone in Ozzy and Cliff Burton on that show.
Cliff didn't have the time to become the icon that he would have been. He was highly
we got to see Cliff Burton play live.
Yeah.
Yep. Two bass players
and
later.
Ozzy, I don't know how many times. When I think about how many times I've seen him, I mean, there's those two tours. There was the Ultimate Sin tour with you. I saw him on No More tours with Life of Agony and Korn.
Yep.
I saw him on the Retirement Sucks tour at the Amp when he played.
The No More tours, and right after that, the Retirement Sucks tour.
With Sabbath and an Ozfest. So, I mean, I'm probably pushing 8 to 10 on that.
All right. I saw a statement here. This relates to us, Bobby, especially you and I. Manowar put out a statement. I don't know if you saw it or not.
Oh, no, I didn't. I missed that.
Today, the world of heavy metal lost a titan. Ozzy Osbourne has taken his final bow. There will never be anybody like Ozzy. He was completely original in his music, his performance, and everything he did. He was an innovator, not an imitator. He never gave up on music or on life. Our condolences to the Osbourne family. Know that the world grieves with you. Ozzy, your voice will echo through eternity. Rest in power, brother. You are immortal. It's fucking amazing.
That's strong words.
Yep.
Strong words.
Absolutely.
I noticed last night that in a classy move, Wendy Dio posted on the Ronnie James Dio page.
Really? That's good, because there was some heat with all that.
Oh, we know.
Yeah.
We know. This podcast is about Ozzy, so I'm not even going to go into any of that.
Yeah. But that's good. No, that's good. Good on her.
They're both gone. So.
Yep. I got a little. I know this isn't one of our. Thirsty Thursday shows, but we're drinking, and we can, because that's what we do. And I know it's not a show and tell show, but I do have one thing to show. I forgot I had this. I got this a couple years ago, but it's not anything huge. But I thought I saw it. As soon as I saw it in the store, I'm like, what the fuck? Who knew that existed? It's in the old Funko Pop. They have the album covers, and they have the Funkos ahead of it.
Oh,
The Ozzy Diary of a Madman one. Look at that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, they had a whole series.
He's got
where
the
they did
bloody
different
face.
albums.
Oh, yeah. They got like Britney Spears and Whitney Houston and all that. But I saw the Ozzy. I'm like, wait a minute. Fucking Ozzy sitting in Walmart? What the hell? It's awesome.
My daughter actually sent me a picture, I want to say Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I guess I raised them right. You know what I mean? She's all into collecting vinyls now. And she's big into Chris Cornell and Soundgarden. Huge into them. And she sends me a picture, and it's the 4-pack of the whole band, Funko Pops.
Oh, wow.
And her message was, why do my children have to be $50 right now?
It's hilarious.
She didn't have $50.
That's
and I'm
awesome.
like, oh my God, I wish, I gotta set her up with Venmo or something.
Right. Let's go. Here you go.
What
Take care of it.
music? What about the music, guys? We haven't touched on that a lot. What were our favorites? I mean, from Sabbath,
Jeez.
from Ozzy era, Sabbath.
All right, let's start it straight out. Favorite Ozzy song. Favorite Ozzy solo song. I already know mine.
Oh, Jesus.
Mine is Song 1, Side 1, Solo Album 1. I don't know.
Mine is...
My answer. I don't know.
Mine's Flying High Again. Love that fucking song.
That's top 3 for me.
Great song.
It's an unfair question for me. Again, like I always talk about Jakey Lee, but like there was so much that Zach did too that I fucking love.
Crazy
I
Babies.
play more like Zach than Crazy Babies. Oh my God. And what an awesome video.
Great song.
Too.
Great song.
That was like, Zach first coming in, and as a guy that plays a Les Paul, like he reinvented how to play guitar, in my opinion.
And any guitar player that you watch perform,
played with Ozzy,
but any guitar player in any band that you watch perform, I think I might pick watching Zakk Wylde over any of them. Like, he's just like,
yeah, oh my God,
dude, he's a monster. Even just you could have the sound off and just watching him like play, it's like, holy shit, look at him go.
I'm trying to think of who. Oh, Stone Cold Steve Austin is great friends with Zakk Wylde, and he asked him. He said, "When you're playing that crazy shit, what are you thinking? Because when I'm in the ring, I'm always gotta, I always gotta think. I always gotta think what I'm gonna do next. What I'm gonna do next." And he told Stone Cold Steve Austin, "I don't think about anything. I just go. I just do it."
That's awesome.
And Steve said that sent, shockwaves through his brain to like say, all right, when I'm doing this, I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to do it.
Yep. There you go.
I'm just going to do it. And, yeah, Zach's great. God, if I had to pick a song, Jesus, that's so tough. Obviously, like I'm always gonna appreciate all the stuff that Randy put his heart and soul into. Um, I don't know, Rock and Roll Rebel, maybe,
That's a good
or
one.
Ultimate Sin. That whole album, like both albums, Bark at the Moon, Ultimate Sin, were like huge to me.
Let that take us into our albums then. Once you get the song, yeah, you don't have to just pick one. You can say
It's hard,
between
man.
this,
It's so
this, and
hard.
this. You know, we're not going to fault you for that.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. That's how I learned how to play guitar. Like every album that came out, I was drawn to. Like every guitar player. Like who's he got now? Who's he got now? Even when he did the album with Joey, I was like, holy shit! Like this guy could play guitar too. And I think I later heard that like Zach played a lot of the songs on the album, and that he just toured with him, I guess. But that's who I saw tour with him at Ozfest. But he was fucking great too. Yeah, I don't know. For me, that's just an unfair question. I couldn't give an answer to that. Obviously, my first songs I ever learned on guitar were Iron Man and Paranoid. I learned those in my living room, my parents' living room. My brother taught me how to play them, and I guess I'll start with that. I think those would be the
Nice.
I guess I think that's everybody's, right? Like first introduction to Black
Iron
Sabbath
Man
and Ozzy.
Yeah.
Iron Man was mine, and I mean I knew Ozzy before I knew Sabbath. I didn't know "Speak of the Devil" was all Black Sabbath songs. Like I didn't know the history.
I was
of
with
Ozzy,
you. I'm with you
know?
on that. I didn't either.
And to tie in with the wrestling aspect, Iron Man, the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
Come on,
For
man.
years,
I
yeah.
mean, they were iconic, and that if without that song, I don't know if there was another song that could have gotten them over as well as that did. I really don't.
I went to pick up my daughter yesterday, and you and I were listening to Ozzy's Boneyard. And they played Iron Man, and that was my first thought was the Road Warriors.
Yep.
And again, it was just it sent that shockwave through me. Like,
Excuse me.
Jesus Christ! Like this was, this is what I was built upon. Like the Road Warriors were one of the biggest things ever in wrestling to me. And
Oh yeah.
I sent Bob a picture, and it was, I don't know if it's AI or someone drew it up or whatever, or both. It was a picture of Ozzy, and I'll shoot it over to you to put in right there. It's Ozzy and Dio singing together.
Yes,
Dio's
yes.
got the horns up. Another thing I was thinking too is like you think about that, you see people put the illustrations up of him going up there. I saw one with Lemmy waiting on the steps, waiting for him.
Yeah,
I saw one with Randy waiting there. But
I've seen
One with
and-
Randy broke me down. Yeah.
in my head, I'm thinking he's going up, and Davey Boy, Dynamite, Captain Lou reliving that moment, and then Hawk and Animal are waiting on the other side, waiting for it's just like he was so fucking iconic in so many ways. We talked about his involvement in wrestling, his physical involvement in wrestling with the Hall of Fame and the WrestleMania 2. We didn't even touch upon the Road Warrior aspect. Like that song, that Sabbath song was iconic.
Just the guitar ringing out at the beginning.
Yeah.
You waited for that, and you knew what was coming.
Yep.
And
It's
even
just
when
go
when
ahead.
WCW, like NWA WCW, had their TV show and copyrights got thrown at them, they came up with it was still the Road Warrior, still playing Iron Man, but it was a little different. But we all know it was like instead of down, it was bow, 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 like
Yeah,
some
I
like
remember that.
Turner,
Yeah.
some sort of Turner music thing because they couldn't get away with it, but they still got away with it, and everyone knows that. Like everyone that was in that arena knows we're still listening to Iron Man, no matter how they want to chop it up or if I can change one note here and there. Fucking awesome, man.
Another thing that shit, I had another thought. I got thrown off. Melissa just sent me a clip, and it relates to Ozzy. What perfect timing. But hold on, let me see.
I also got to throw in mentions as far as songs go. Fairies Wear Boots from Sabbath and NIB. 2 songs I always loved.
Yeah, they were. I told you guys, but no one else knows. But previous to this, I stopped at a local watering hole.
Yes, sir.
And had a couple drinks on Ozzy.
Oh, he paid for your drinks? What the fuck?
Yeah, well, I paid for enough.
You paid for this.
But yeah, they were playing nothing but Black Sabbath, and just totally cool. I think I mentioned it earlier.
That's awesome.
I can't say how cool that was.
I'm gonna go with my favorite Ozzy album is Blizzard of Oz. I'm looking at the I pulled up the lineup. I don't remember. I'm old, but I remember, but I don't remember Bob's like song 1, side 1. I'm like, this fucking encyclopedia over here, not so much for me, but just the bangers.
I wore that thing out, man.
Dude, the bangers that are on that, and I'm talking about the bangers. I'm talking about Steal Away. Dude, Steal Away is an awesome song.
It is.
It's awesome.
No Bone Movies.
Yep, No Bone Movies.
No Bone Movies. That's a
but
good
like,
one too.
I don't know.
But what about Mr.
Crazy Train, Mr. Crowley, Suicide Solution. Melissa told me earlier her favorite Ozzy song, Goodbye to Romance. What a great freaking tune, man. What a great tune. See, did you hear Joe redid it? Joe did a version of it. I posted it on Facebook earlier.
I
man.
haven't listened to it.
I was like, thanks, Joe. I wanted to cry some more today. Thanks.
That's why I didn't listen to it. Yeah.
Thanks, fella.
I know this guy's.
That whole line
probably
with the broken crown and all that. That hits home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it sounds goofy, it sounds weird. I cried a lot yesterday. Cried a lot.
Oh my god! I saw
cried a lot 20 minutes ago.
I woke up. I woke up this morning and said, I swear this was my thought. Was laying in bed I'm like, I gotta get up, gotta do this stuff for work. How was yesterday? Like, oh shit, that happened yesterday. And I immediately got anxious and tears started to swell, and I got up and I said to myself, as cliche as it sounds, I swear to God, no more tears. No more tears.
There you go.
And then, like Bob said 20 minutes ago, they're still flowing, man. They're still flowing. It's going to be a few days before I think I'll ever get over this, man.
Yeah, it is.
You can't ever forget being that kid in that room, listening to the music.
Right.
He spoke to you. He spoke for you.
Yep.
And nobody could have done it like him. The charisma that man had. I mean,
yeah, he held a flag. He held a flag for people like me. That's how I looked at it. You know?
Yep.
And I did exactly what he would want anyone to do, is to prove it all wrong.
So
prove them wrong. So
there you go.
I'm still waiting to do that, but
I just
you already have, brother.
2 things.
I already have.
Another song I just saw that I got to put up there right at the top. Pop said something about his top 3. Another one in my top 3 has to be Over the Mountain. Because it's Over the Mountain right into Flying High Again. It's like, come on. Talk about the 1-2 fucking punch, man.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. You're leaning heavy on Diary.
That's like freaking, that's dude,
it's a pretty solid album.
That's like Welcome to the Jungle into It's So Easy. Like, come on. So Melissa sent me a clip. It says, Sharon Osbourne reveals the real reason for Ozzy Osbourne's death. And I clicked on it, and it says it's age-restricted, post unavailable. But she said, the post said Ozzy chose to die. And I said, what do you mean, assisted? She said, yes. She goes, who knows if it's true or not. But that's what she read in there.
They were looking into going to a European country where assisted suicide was legal. I don't know if they did that. I don't know if that story's 100% accurate. It could be. I know they looked into it. It's definitely something that they had a discussion with and that Ozzy believed in.
So let me ask you guys. And I think what you just said probably answers this question before I ask it. But I was thinking about this earlier before we wrap up. Do you guys think that he was sick, like sick, before the concert a few weeks ago?
Oh, he has been. I mean,
but like to the point where it was like near the end. I think
he was never right after his. He had an accident with a four-wheeler in England, and he hurt himself pretty bad, and he never recovered from that.
I'm of full belief that he was in his final days, and because it was, that show was built up so much, and it was such a big deal, and it was such a thing that they prepped him as much as they could or did, or Ed, you'll know what I mean when I say this, but prepped him the Sabu way, maybe even, you know what I mean? They got him ready for the show, and he got through that. And a lot of people are saying, and I kind of tend to agree, it's like, what a way to fucking go out, man.
No,
what a huge thing to do, their final show in front of thousands and millions watching, and then like, okay, I did it. There you go.
You go out feeling the adulation of millions of fans. I mean, the tens of thousands that were there, and the millions that were watching at home on pay-per-view.
Yes, what you said. He didn't go out. He wasn't just an afterthought. It's like, oh, I hate I'm not discounting this at all. I'm not when I say this, and I'm going to sound like a dick for saying it, but like the day before Ozzy died, Malcolm Jamal Warner died. And it's like, oh my God, I can't believe he died, but it's like, fuck's he been? You know what I mean? It's like, you haven't heard of him in years. Ozzy was just in the mainstream within the past few weeks. He was at a top level.
There is a show that Malcolm Jamal Warner was in recently, and I don't know the name of it, but I saw some talk of it online, and people liked it. A couple people said they liked it better than the Cosby Show. So,
well, what was
for one of my
he died. He died like trying to save someone, right?
I don't know if he was just on vacation with his. No, I think you may be, and it's a similar story of how it happened.
No, I know with Shad and everything.
Yeah, you might be mixing up with Shad. I thought that too for a second. I think he was just out swimming and he got pulled under or something.
Oh, okay. I thought there were like a couple people that were getting
like vacation or something like that.
It's been a bad week for Generation X.
Yeah.
I mean, we're really feeling we're feeling our mortality.
But you know what? I'm gonna say this. I think this really helped me. I don't know if it helped you guys.
Absolutely, absolutely, man.
Not, but like, I feel like just like being able to let these things out and talk about these things really helps to alleviate a lot of the pain. So,
and that's what your brothers.
That's why we're here.
That's what your brothers and your friends are for, man. You get together and you grieve together with the people that you love.
Absolutely.
There's no bigger brotherhood and sisterhood than there is of hard rock and metal. I mean,
that's right.
There's nothing like it.
How many times, Bob, you can relate to this so many times because we've talked about it before. How many times you're like, even like wrestling fans do it all the time, but how many times you're walking in the mall back in the day and you see somebody walking with a Dio shirt on or an Ozzy shirt or something, and you're just like, hey, yeah. Great shirt. You too, man. You know what I mean? I do all the time. I was at the pool hall with my dad today, and the girl that that's working there, she comes over. She goes, "Great shirt." I had the Kevin Owens, the KO Mania shirt, one of the KO Mania shirts on. She goes, "Great shirt." I'm like, "Thanks." She goes, "I love wrestling. Oh my God, I love him." I'm like, it's just like people just relate, and it's like it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's funny you say that because 2 days ago I was at the mall with an Anthrax shirt on. and I got that. Some guy was like, "Great shirt, man."
Nice. Yep. You love it.
And I'm
You
always,
acknowledge it.
I don't get it as much as I throw it out there either. Like hearing you guys get that, I'm like, fucking awesome, man. But like, I'm the first one that'll like walk a couple aisles over because someone has like a Finn Balor shirt.
Yep.
Or a Queensryche shirt on. I'll just like, all right, like, forget about the milk and eggs right now. I gotta go chase this person down just to tell them, like, dude, awesome shirt,
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
in the club. You're in the club. I'm in
that
the club.
guy. yeah.
All right. I just thought of
So
something.
you were on top 3 albums, right? Top 3 Ozzy. Weren't you gonna start?
I
top three.
think we were just talking about the favorites, but yeah, we could do top 3 if you want. Sure.
Yeah, top 3 Ozzy solo albums. That's a good one.
We'll finish with that. Yeah.
Jeez, that's deep top.
They don't have to be in order. What are the 3 that you would go to in a pinch, or a desert island could be?
All right. Jeez. All right. I'd say Blizzard, Ultimate Sin. I want to say No More Tears, but no, I'm gonna say No More Tears.
Go ahead, Billy.
I'm going to sound cliche, but maybe not. But I already talked about 2 of them: Blizzard of Oz, Diary of a Madman, and Tribute.
Oh, Tribute. Wow, that's a strange one to throw in there, but yeah, wow. I remember you liked that. You wore the tape out.
Yep. And I had the T-shirt too.
Yep, you absolutely. I remember that. Mine are in this order: Blizzard, Ultimate Sin, Diary of a Madman.
That was my. If I didn't go No More Tears, would have been Diary.
Bobby and I have a connection with Shot in the Dark. We did. You remember at the state fair? They used to have the booths where you go in and you can sing. You record your song. Yeah, sing basically record a karaoke track. You get the we got a little cassette tape of us recording Shot in the Dark at the state fair.
Yeah, you sang, and I don't know what the hell it was that I was doing, yodeling or something.
You sang. You stop it. You stop it now.
Funny story, actually. Sunday night. I think we stopped at my parents' house, and it was one of those situations like, all right, we're going to go home. What do you want to do? I was like, I just want to go home and I want to listen to Ozzy. I'll pick up my guitar and play Ozzy. This was Sunday night.
Shit.
And we came home, like in front of my parents, like in front of the world. I said this, right? We came home, put Ozzy on TV. I think actually first we watched a Jakey Lee like shoot interview type of thing. And then I went into the studio and I started playing Ultimate Sin. And I figured out I relearned the chords and how he plays them, because how he plays that is insane. So I relearned it and I was all excited, and then we ended me doing Jakey Lee guitar solos and trying to figure it out, but her standing in the doorway and watching me, and then it's so surreal to think how much our entire evening was about Ozzy. That whole evening was about this man.
You paid tribute to him. You paid tribute to him 2 days before he passed.
2 days before. It just, what are the odds?
Dude, so many people
blows my mind.
So many people made the comparison, and because of his big concert a few weeks ago. It was 3 weeks ago now? Is that what it was? Something like that?
It was about 2.5, 3 weeks.
Dude, first of all, one clip I didn't get it. I didn't order it. I'm a busy guy for working 18 jobs or whatever.
YouTube has it all. So,
bro,
I mean,
I watched this one clip of him just sitting in his throne and sitting there, and at one point I talked to you, Bobby, about this. At one point he's just they zoom in on him and he's just sitting there and he's and he made that iconic, classic, scary face, and I'm like, yes, there it is. That's it right there. It was so fucking cool to watch. But so many people, like I was listening to, they were talking about it on Busted Open, the wrestling radio show. So many people making comparisons, even though it was like a couple weeks before the Ultimate Warrior situation, where he came back, they paid tribute to him. And it was even stranger with Ultimate Warrior because they inducted him to the Hall of Fame. He comes on Monday Night Raw, has the speech about there comes a day when every man draws his last breath, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. The next morning he dies. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. You go find that speech and listen to it. You'll get goosebumps. It's crazy.
I'm not convinced there wasn't something a little sinister behind the Ultimate Warrior thing. And
yeah. Oh, did he know?
I'm with you on that. I'm so with you on that.
Did he know? Did he know that maybe he was going? You know what I mean?
I'm going somewhere else with it, but
I feel like maybe he knew something sinister might happen.
I don't know what you're trying to get at, brother.
That's
funny
not
story.
I don't really have a concrete thing, but it's just something that doesn't sit right with that, and it hasn't for a long time, just because of the enemies that he made, and all of a sudden he's in the room with all of them. And
oh, boy.
He went for the jugular with those people,
yeah.
verbally.
Yeah.
I saw somebody put, and I chuckled for a half a second. I'm like, you're so fucking stupid. I saw some put, about the Malcolm Jamal Warner thing. It's like, God, he was last seen having a cocktail with Bill Cosby. I'm like, shut the fuck up. He's so stupid. It's so bad.
I mean, he
so
drowned.
Bad.
I can't imagine drowning.
Yeah, dude, that's like that and fire are the two like absolute worst fears of dying that I can think of. Drowning or dying in a fire.
Out of the two, though, I would rather have drowning because I feel like a drowning, you just accept it.
You're just there and you can't fire. You're going to suffer.
On fire, you're like, I am not accepting this.
Right. And if for some reason you survive, you're fucked the rest of your life.
You're totally fucked.
Yeah,
like, don't put me out. Like, let it.
Yeah. So
drowning is so much better.
Such
dark take.
No one words that no one has ever spoken. Drowning is so much better. What? All right, my brothers. It was good to get together, talk about the Ozman.
Any closing anecdotes from each one of us or anything?
Yeah.
Do a closing anecdote?
Absolutely.
Go ahead, man.
Billy.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
All right. Man was an icon. He held the flag up for us. A genuine human being that really stands for everybody in the sense that he came from rock bottom, built his way up, and then through his own personal addictions went rock bottom and then built his way back out of it, which to me just says that anyone can break out of that negative mold that some of us sometimes find ourselves, that negative hole that we find ourselves thinking into. Yeah. And at the same time made the music that pulled us all out of that.
Yep.
He's a legend. He'll never be forgotten.
You talk about, or people talk about, like this generation's big stars. People talk about Jelly Roll, who I love that man. I've never met him, probably never will, but I just love his story, and I love how he is as a human and the things that he's done. That's a redemption story. Ozzy has his very own redemption story. You just touched on it, but like he like think about all the shit and like people the bat but that's crazy shit. Licking up somebody's piss and snorting ants and biting the head off a bat, and then years later becomes this lovable like character on TV. You know, it's like
lovable when he was doing that stuff.
Oh, he was to us, but I'm talking about the mainstream. People are like, will see the Osbourne, like, oh my God, that show's so awesome. Oh my God, they're so funny. And then they hear the other stuff and they don't really, like, oh my God, the bat. Oh, ha, ha. It's like, no, really, that happened. That's gross. Like, listen, mainstream people, that really happened. That was a real thing. Another thing I'll just touch on before Bobby gives his final words. Just the love affair that he and Sharon had, and she always, I saw a clip earlier, I didn't watch it, but it said she got into a fight with somebody on her talk show because somebody said something about Ozzy. And she was gonna throw hands with him. She's like, no, and it's just the bond that they had. And who knows? I've heard that they even had a bond to the end. That's what someone had said. But
yeah,
I
heard that too tonight.
But I don't know.
That's not her.
She was always very supportive.
Why would you
of him.
spend? Yeah.
Just like, I brought up Jelly Roll, just like his wife Bunny is to him. People shit talk him, she's ready to fucking throw down. She's like, let's go.
Right.
Give me a hair tie. Let's go.
But as far as the other ideal goes, why would a woman that spent her entire life to keep somebody alive take the choice to?
Well, I don't think that she would do that, but I think if I think the idea and people saying that is that it would be his choice. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm too much pain, or I'm not, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And maybe it's like, if you go, I go. Who knows? Who knows if that's true? I'm hoping it's not, but
I heard the opposite, that like they had this pact that if he goes, she goes, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It could just be Ozzy going like, if you go, I go.
Right. I'm not gonna live without you. And then somebody, and then the media sensationalizes it or whatever. Yeah.
Every time.
Bobby, what are your final thoughts, my brother?
Some people are born to do certain things. Very few people get to do those things. And even fewer amount get to do it on the level that he got to do it on. Nobody could have done it like him. I talked earlier about all the people that have helped him write songs throughout the years. He's the one that delivered the message, the art. He put it together. He threw it out there. That makes him the luckiest person alive that's now gone. And he's going to live forever with his music.
Great fucking words to end on, my brother. Great words to end on. I love you guys. Let's get together. Let's get together and do more shows sooner than later. Bobby, every time we do music shows, man, we're just gonna have you on with us. You know what I mean? Because
I don't have a problem with it.
You are the heavy metal ambassador, as far as I'm concerned. You're the dude that really turned me on to the music that I say and I love. I do have to say at the end that I'm kind of pissed that we have this bond, the three of us, and you guys hopefully by accident you forgot to put me in on the memo about dressing sharp for the show tonight. You guys both have button-ups on. You got collared shirts on. I'm sitting here with my fucking Headbangers Ball shirt on, a freaking hat with unwashed hair.
I'm sorry. I had your old email address in the email.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bob and I bought the same shirt.
Yeah.
I had a job interview, so one of the times I dress up. That's about it.
I accept.
It's a nice looking shirt, Bob.
I accept. How about me? What about me?
Very nice.
Yeah. All right, you're
nice. That's nice.
That's nice for a black T-shirt. You fat lazy bastard. You can't take a shower and take a hat off for the show.
That's how I prefer to dress. Trust me.
Yes.
See, I told you, Bob taught me everything I know. I used to dress like you guys until Bob came along, and then he turned on me and went back to that. Son of a bitch. All right. He's there. He's there.
Well, we don't know. We'll
figure it out in post.
All of our watchers, we don't know what camera is where when this all comes out.
Just make sure
have to adjust it.
Just make sure my video is the right way this time.
Yeah,
like the Brady Bunch.
Not backwards.
Right. It's like, oh.
Yeah. Here's a story, but no one knows where anyone is.
All right, brothers. Until next time.
See you.
Love you
Boop.
both.
Love you.